Chapter 30. Trip.
My heart leaped in my chest as I heard the words I had been longing to hear from him.
March 7th. After 4 days, the vibrant city of Osaka was gradually receding into the background as Madara's tiring business trip concluded. The transition from the sleek and modern buildings to the rolling hills and vast expanses of lush green to the calming sounds of nature. This change provided a necessary break for Madara and his girlfriend Haruko, who had been overwhelmed by the urban chaos for the preceding 2 months, a welcome escape from the chaos of urban life.
I still find it hard to believe that all of this is happening to me.
Where she sat and observed Madara peacefully asleep in the dappled sunlight. At that moment, everything seemed surreal, and Haruko allowed herself to be engulfed by the tranquility of her surroundings.
I thought you were sleeping.
Before she could say anything else, he had already closed the distance between them, and their lips met in a passionate kiss. His hands roamed down her body, pulling her closer as she melted against him.
You're so cute,
he said, the setting sun casting a warm glow on her face.
I knew you'd be mine from the moment I saw you,
he confessed, his heart racing with excitement. A soft breeze rustled through the grass as they sat side by side, their fingers intertwined. She couldn't help but snicker at his boldness.
Oh, really? You never cease to surprise me, Mr. Uchiha Madara. I am truly grateful that our paths have crossed. Who would have thought that my reckless actions, like crashing your car in the rear, would lead to this moment?
Her lips curled into a playful sneer. A chuckle escaped Madara's lips as he gazed at her fondly.
Isn't that right, my love? I was in the right place at the right time when you bumped into my car.
His lips lingering for a moment as he whispered,
I'll never let you go, babe.
The words sent shivers down her spine, and she knew at that moment that she was exactly where she belonged, in his arms, forever and always. They playfully teased and laughed, enjoying each other's company on that warm day.
Let's go. I'll show you a special place,
Madara whispered, breaking away from their kiss. Eyes wide with wonder, she couldn't help but ask,
What is this place?
Will you join me for a swim, Haruko?
She blushed at his suggestive tone but shook her head.
I'll just sit here and enjoy the view.
Your loss?
He chuckled before tossing his clothes aside and diving into the water. He resurfaced moments later and called out to her.
Come on in, the water is amazing!
But before she could react, he snuck up behind her and splashed her playfully. She let out a surprised yelp and fell from the bench into the water.
Oh, Madara.
She sputtered as she emerged from the water, wiping it from her face.
When did you... You scared me, and now I am soaked to the bones.
He smiled and moved closer to her in the water, appreciating the way her damp clothes adhered to her figure, exposing more than intended. His eyes dwelled on her contours before he leaned in and kissed her passionately. The refreshing water surrounded them as they shared an intimate moment.
My longing for her grew stronger. At this moment, all I want is you, Haruko. I proclaimed breathlessly, gently biting her neck. Her moans resonated in the air as she yielded to me, her nails pressing into my back as we embraced in the refreshing water of the river. Remember how I said we should try something new? Now would be a good time, I murmured against her lips. She gazed up at me with eager eyes, silently granting permission for us to progress further. Don't worry, no one will see us. This secluded spot is very private. We can do whatever we want here. As we moved together under the cascading water, lost in our passion and surrounded by nature's beauty, I knew that this was a memory we would both cherish forever. As the water lapped gently against our bodies, I began to toss Haruko's wet clothes aside.
Wait.
She protested. I reassured her. If it happens, I'll take responsibility. Or if you prefer, we can stop. My hands paused in their movements as I looked into her wide green eyes, waiting for her response. The sound of the water surrounded us like a gentle embrace, as if nature itself was listening to our intimate conversation.
His words hung in the air, heavy with implications and unexpected emotions. I had never thought I would hear such a declaration from him, and I couldn't help but feel stunned and speechless.
My voice trembling slightly. I understand that I must face the repercussions of my actions. That's fine with me. As long as you're willing, Haruko. Radiating a seductive allure that was impossible to resist.
Madara's unwavering honesty and fearless determination were both endearing and terrifying to me. As I gazed into his deep, soulful eyes, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and admiration for the man who stood before me. However, in similar situations now, we are less vigilant in our behavior, bound by an unbreakable bond of love and devotion that nothing could ever shake.
As we stood together, my arms enveloping Haruko tightly, she grappled with articulating her emotions.
I don't want to hold you back.
Her words were barely audible as they escaped in a whisper against my eager lips. However, I silenced her with a consuming kiss that conveyed our boundless love and unwavering ardor. At that flash, all uncertainties and anxieties dissipated as we held on to each other, succumbing to our impulsive cravings in the present moment. For once, I permitted myself to wholeheartedly revel in the sheer euphoria of this instant with her. You called the tune. Now you must pay the piper. So be it. As we finally reached the surface, still catching our breath.
Night, it's 23 o'clock now. Our playful antics continued into the night as the moon rose high. Lost in the moment, we continued our fervent kisses without bothering to disrobe. Fully aware that he is under my command, Madara expressed his fascination with the power dynamic between us.
I live for moments like these.
Occasionally even sooner.
Haruko envelops me with her lips, brings me profound gratification. Due to my fondness for Haruko, I consistently find fulfillment in meeting her demands. As soon as we emerged from the water and dried ourselves, we strolled beneath the starry sky. The mild night air enveloped us in a tender embrace, casting a gentle radiance on our skin. Both of us wished it would never end. It was such a peaceful and exquisite moment. She rested her head on my shoulder as we watched a shooting star streak across the night sky. I inquired, "Did you make a wish, Haruko?"
Yeah, baby.
She responded with a mumble. "What did you wish for?" I inquired with genuine curiosity. "Yeah, Haruko, I tend to exhibit foolish behavior occasionally, especially when I'm in a relaxed state." I shrugged.
I had always perceived you as a serious, big, hard guy.
"Well, I concur with all 3 points, Haruko."
I love you, Madara.
She stated, unable to suppress her emotions further. I smirked, my lips lightly touching hers in a tender kiss. "And I love you, Haruko." Her head rested on my chest as she purred contentedly.